Hey y'all, Irix Guy here, and I'm back in the field, and I've got the Mavic 2 Pro and all of the goodies in this case. And what I'm going to demonstrate within this video is case to field, how quick and easy this is to set up. So you can expand this video's description and then click the link there to find where to order everything online. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I've charged all my batteries. I got my landing pad out, and we're going to go. So the first thing is obviously unfold my landing pad. That's completely optional, but in a scenario such as this, I don't want to land in grass and mess up my propellers on my Mavic 2 Pro when I don't have to. Obviously already got one battery in it, and this case I've got 2 extra batteries. Great thing about the Mavic 2 Pro, small travel size, small travel weight, but even with that being the case, it's got great battery life. 30 minutes, give or take a few minutes. I mean, it's great. So we got our drone out. We're going to take our gimbal protector off. I wish they would make this a solid color so people wouldn't think that you're supposed to fly with it. Obviously, you're not supposed to fly with it. One of the great things I like about the smart controller is that I don't have to deal with putting a tablet or a phone in there. It's a much better experience in my opinion. So let's power on our drone. I do have the latest firmware. And I do have the memory card. Always make sure you got your memory card if you're planning on recording. So we're turning that on, and then we're going to turn on our smart controller. I tell you, the smart controller interface is so much better than, well, not necessarily the interface because it's the same app, but not having to have a smartphone or a tablet dangling from the bottom. And the control sticks feel really nice. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and get started here. We're going to go to the Mavic 2. Obviously, this is the Mavic 2 Pro that features the Hasselblad. There is another Mavic 2 version, the Zoom, that has the zoom camera, but you can expand this video's description, click the link there to find both of the Mavic 2 models. So now we're going to go fly, but before I do, since I've already downloaded all of my videos from a previous flight, I'm going to go in and format the SD card. And also pay attention, it shouldn't change, but make sure that it's recording to SD card versus internal memory. So I know I'm using SD card because I've got 4K 30, 2 hours and 50 minutes of flight time remaining. So that's quite quite a good bit of time. Now, one thing that I like to do with this is use manual focus. I've never had great success with the autofocus. It's kind of a wonky, I would refer to it as focus breathing, this, that, and the other. So for that reason, what I do before I go airborne is I'm in manual focus mode, MF, and I drag this towards that infinity sign. And it is worth mentioning, in older versions of the app, not this version, but older versions, there was a brief period where I guess the developers messed up and they had the flower icon and the infinity icon inverted. But with the most current version of the app, as of August 31st of 2019, if I just drag the manual focus to the infinity sign, everything should be perfectly focused. So now we're obviously in a safe and responsible location. There's no obstacles around. So let's go ahead and get airborne with this. I've got all my GPS satellites are tracked. Before I take off, obviously I want to click record so we can get some cool aerial footage. And I'm also going to check my camera here on the ground, make sure it's still recording. There is a 29-minute hard stop on this version of the Sony Alpha, so that's worth pointing out. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get airborne. Let's do a little bit of simple maneuvers here. Do some low to the ground here. It's amazing how stable these drones are. I mean, it's come a long way from the Phantom, and the Phantom was great, but this just takes it to the next level in my opinion. Better portability, better battery life, better camera. We're gonna go over a little landing pad real slow here. And then I'm gonna gimbal wheel down. Let's see. Oh, it's the left side. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna gimbal wheel down while we fly over this. Something I encourage you to do is adjust your gimbal wheel speed if you haven't. If you want that more slow and cinematic look, you probably want to adjust your gimbal wheel speed from the defaults. But just really good. I mean, a few things to pay attention to, and this is where the 1-inch sensor on the Hasselblad really shines. Look at the clouds, look at the trees, look at the shadows, look at the overall color saturation of this video. I mean, it's quite incredible. Now the zoom, you know, obviously the Mavic 2 zoom is going to provide the added value of being able to zoom in, but you know, if you just want the absolute best 4K video quality, I mean, this thing is hard to beat. And especially in lower light situations, having that 1-inch sensor, if you're filming a sunset or something like that, it really gives you the best quality without all the grain that you would get from a camera that's not a 1-inch sensor. You go right over the pad here. Just go to a little hover. I mean, there's minimal drift. I mean, looking at the drone, and I'll bring it close to the camera so you can see it. When this thing hovers, I mean, it's pretty much rock steady. Let's bring it closer so y'all can see it. Yeah, I mean, minimal drift. Look at that. You can hear the obstacle avoidance going off. I'm going to go to the left. Go to the right. Yeah, just a really stable aircraft. You can disable obstacle avoidance, but obviously I don't want to. See, it's stopping right there because of obstacle avoidance. It's detecting my camera equipment right here. So, yeah, just super cool stuff. Let's go ahead and put her down on the landing pad. Show you how easy it is to land this thing. Depending upon personal preference, you know, you may want to land with it facing away from you or towards you. I'm going to land with it facing away. That landing pad really makes this cool, and it's a good way to practice your drone piloting skills too. So there you go, landed on the pad, no problems at all. So that's the Mavic 2 Pro with smart controller, and you know, just a quick demonstration of how effortless it is rather to go from travel bag to in the air. And you know, pack up. You know, what does it take to pack it up? Well, let's demonstrate that. We've done this. What I do is power my drone off. And then once my drone's powered off, then I'll power off my smart controller. And then I'll fold my smart controller, the antennas on it rather, and then fold the rear arms, and then fold your propellers in, and then fold your front arms and fold the propellers in. That's one thing I like about this case. I can keep the propellers on and have some spares in there in case I do encounter something catastrophic. I can replace them, but this just makes it super convenient. You know, minimal amount of time to to unpack and minimal amount of time to pack up and go. So then, you know, you want to put your camera guard on to better protect it during transport. These things have always been a little bit wonky to get on and off, but you can see it was pretty effortless despite that. So, and then you just put this in your case. Then you put your controller, your smart controller in your case. You can Velcro that down. You can zip this up. And there you go, grab and go. Again, super small, super lightweight. There is the optional shoulder strap, which I have in there, but I seldom use it. I just like to carry it. And the good thing about this is that this is small and lightweight enough, and regulations are constantly changing. But for the current carry-on luggage size, this case is small enough to fit in my carry-on luggage and leave ample amount of room for clothing and other items. So, you know, for travel, super convenient. If it's going to be wet out, obviously I would not consider this to be waterproof. It may be slightly water resistant at best, but what I would do is put this in a dry bag. And you can check out my other video where I put this in a dry bag in a lot of scenarios where you're swimming ashore and your gear can't get wet, your drone, your cameras, and all of that equipment. You know, putting it in a dry bag is a way to add that waterproofness temporarily, but for dry land situations such as this, you can just carry just the case and be perfectly okay. So tell me what you think. Again, comment below, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Check out all my other drone videos if you haven't already, and be sure to ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. And again, expand this video's description and then click the link there to find this case, the drone, camera equipment, audio equipment, anything that you're looking for that may not be listed, just ask and I'll be happy to provide a link. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, iRick's Guy here. Thanks again for your viewership. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and ring that bell icon to be notified whenever I post another video. If you're looking for iRick's Guy's Adventure Channel merch, like this t-shirt and a lot of other cool stuff, expand this video's description. You can find it all there. Y'all have a good day.